The infield in for Philadelphia. And McNeil puts it in play. Hoskins comes home, and they get the out at the plate. We're pretty sure they got the out at the plate. Joe hasn't made the signal yet because Rajai Davis came in sliding.
Joe Davis with
and he's out. Yeah.
And the tackle.
Joe was standing there as long as he could to make sure he saw the play. And Rajai Davis in trying to avoid the tag.
He's getting leaned on.
Oh, man.
He got the right guy to lean on, too. Rajai, too funny.
Joe West umpired almost 5,500 Major League games, and that's the moment in your career that we choose, Joe, to bring you on to visit with you today. Good morning. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing good. It took a while for me to get up off of him there, but that's nice to know that that's my signature moment.
There are too many signature moments in your amazing storied career. Great to have you on the program. 43 seasons as a Major League umpire, and one of the very distinguished names on the Hall of Fame ballot, the contemporary era Hall of Fame ballot, and it's appropriate that we get you on the show today. Where are you right now, Joe? And tell us what you've been doing since you finally hung up the chest protector.
Well, right now I'm at the World Series of Golf at Pebble Beach. It happens the week after Thanksgiving every year, and I've been playing here about 25 times. So today we play Pebble Beach. But for the most part, since retirement, I've had one more knee replacement and playing a lot of golf. But I've been kind of following, trying to keep up. But with all the rules changes and everything, it's tough to know if you have been up to date with everything. So it's really interesting that I think the speed up rules have really helped the game because I think it's quicker, it has a little better pace, and I think it's best for the fans. I think it's great.
Well, Joe, you've umpired long enough where we had American League, National League umpires. Umpires really controlled the game. It was his strike zone, you better adjust, to now we got this little square and everything else they want to throw in there. So I feel like the new rules have kind of brought it back where there's some control now to keep the game moving, where it used to be the onus on the umpire. And just real quick, when I was coming up, it'd be a 10-1 game, and it's the ninth inning. They're saying, swing the bat, son. Let's go. Let's keep it moving. And that's how they kept the pace of the game. We took that away. So what do you feel like now watching the game from the couch and seeing the new rules? Do you feel like the umpires got a little more control now or no?
Well, I think the big thing about that strike zone and that little box that you talk about on TV is that box on TV is not the one they grade the umpires on. The umpires are graded in a zone evaluation system, and it's not the same one you see on TV. I don't care what box you use, but please tell the umpires which one you're using, because it's not fair that they're graded in a separate thing on television from what they're being graded on in actuality. And I think tightening up the strike zone has helped the game, because I think it makes the pitchers throw strikes. It makes the hitters adjust. Like before, what you were talking about, the game that was 10-1, if an umpire called a pitch off the plate, then no one cared. But today, they're grading that umpire on every pitch. So it puts a little more pressure on the umpires than it did back years ago. But I think for the most part, the changing of the rules and trying to get everything to where the same umpires are called in the same strike zone every time is a good thing.
Joe, you are, I don't think this is an overstatement, you're probably the most recognizable umpire in the history of the sport because of your tenure, the fact that you did it longer than anybody else, called more games than anybody else, and because of your big personality. I'm curious that in retirement, do you ever encounter a former player that you had a good or bad relationship with, and now that you're out of the game, is it different? Does anybody recognize you when you're walking around, and how does your day filled that way?
Well, yeah, there's about 3 current ball players that are members of my country club, and Johnny Damon comes by all the time for lunch, and I see him at the club. But yeah, for the most part, I get recognized. There's some people here at this tournament that come up and say, "I remember you back in 2004," and things like that. But this has been unique job because it opened a lot of doors for me. I would have never been able to sing on the Grand Ole Opry if it hadn't been for guys like Mickey Gilley and Merle Haggard, and I'm friends with the Oak Ridge Boys. In fact, the Oak Ridge Boys called the White Sox and asked if they could sing the national anthem the day I broke Bill Clem's record for the most games ever umpired. So this has been quite a journey, and it's been pleasurable and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's real cool, Joe. And you're great for the game. I want to jump on something. You and I have become really good friends, and I was discussing this with you in the past, where you don't have that Dinkinger moment. Don Dinkinger was a great umpire, and then they remember one
Absolutely.
moment. And we were talking about this, and I talked about it a little bit yesterday, but I want to run the Dave Roberts stolen base clip against the Yankees in that playoff game that really propels the Red Sox on to go to win the World Series. When you make this call, you're the umpire making the call, and you're on it, and that's a close play. You make the call right. This before replay and everything else. But nobody says, what a great call by Joe West when we look back in history. Had you missed it, we'd be talking about you right now. You know, so how do umpires deal with a moment like Dinkinger or something like that happens?
Well, that's that's the sad story about the Dinkinger call, because he was a great umpire in the American League for a lot of years, and his whole career is defined by that one moment. That's not fair. It's just not fair. We all miss plays, and you're right. I was very lucky through the course of my career, and 131 playoff and World Series games, I didn't have a call like that. So I was very lucky. So, but if you go and try to figure out what happened in that play, Don over hustled and got it. He ran himself out of position to where he couldn't see the whole play, and it's so sad because in the excitement of the moment, he was trying to hustle to be sure he's in position, and he ran himself past where he should have been to make the call, and that's a sad thing.
What's the toughest play, Joe, for umpires? What's the toughest play you think? Is it the plate or is it? It's the next one, huh?
It's your next one. It doesn't matter. You're only graded about the last call you had. You're the greatest umpire in the world if you get the last play you had right. So it's very important that you'll see umpires later in the game take a little longer to call a play or a pitch. And that's because they're trying to make sure they have all the evidence to make the right call. In the excitement of the moment, the hardest thing to teach a young umpire is to wait till it's all over before you make a call. So that's very important. And I think that sometimes the excitement of the game and everything makes you tend to jump in a play instead of wait till it's all over and gather all the information.
Hold on one second, Matt. I know you got a question. I just want to make a point real quick. So you figure an umpire makes about 50,000 calls a year. Mm-hmm. So he did this for 40 years. That's like over 2 million calls.
It's incredible. It is incredible.
It's really unbelievable when you think about it.
Joe, we could visit with you all day, but I'm dying to ask you this because I remember a story about legendary American League umpire Bill Valentine feuding with Mickey Mantle, famously. And Mantle never felt like he could get a call when Valentine was back there. And finally, the two of them worked it out, and they were friends after their careers on the field came to an end. Did you have a relationship with anybody like that? And have you and Bumgarner patched it up ever, or did we overblow that rivalry you seem to have, that fun rivalry?
That's two North Carolina boys feuding over some bad language that probably shouldn't have happened on the field. But see that pitch right there, he's not mad at me, he's mad at himself. And when he used the profanity, I just kind of stared at him, and he realized what was going on.
This is just some of the best theater. Oh, my gosh.
Who was going to budge first? Joe, you weren't going to budge, were you?
Absolutely fabulous, man.
Oh, God.
That's the kind of thing we would miss if we go to the robo-umps. No, sir, not on our watch. Joe, great to see you, man. Glad you're enjoying retirement. Hit them straight in Pebble Beach. We feel very strongly about you and everybody else on that ballot that we'll learn the results of on Sunday. So we wish you luck there. Hope to see you in person down the road.
Cooperstown's calling you, Joe. Cooperstown is calling you.
You guys are very kind, and I appreciate it. Thank you.